They're saying pressure mounts on Ruto to call contentious cybercrime law amid calls for protest. Well, I really never knew what this law is about. I don't know. You know, the government can do things while the people are somehow not even noticing. So it becomes very hard for them. So let's read together what the bill is like. President William Ruto has been challenged to repeal the Commuter Misuse and Cybercrimes Amendment Act 2024, which he signed into law on the day former Prime Minister Raila Odinga died. Oh, oh, that is a big red flag. In an X post on Monday, October 20, lawyer Miguna questioned whether Ruto will recall the new legislation amid reports that it had triggered renewed calls for anti-government protests. The lawyer's sentiments added to the growing debate surrounding the law, which was signed into law together with seven other bills that have also sparked heightened scrutiny on the government. The timing and manner of assent on the day of Raila's passing raised suspicions among observers about transparency and public awareness. Will Ruto recalled the Cybercrime Act, another offensive legislation he hurriedly signed into law before announcing Raila Odinga's death, and does he want to force Kenyans back to streets? Before I finish, as we all know, bills do go stages and processes. So, like, why, why were the, why was it not talked about earlier in its initial stages? And why only now that he signed into, and where were the MPs? Like, you've been given the job to check and represent the citizens as democracy in quote says, but why now all these voices? Yeah, Miguna is not an MP. Critics have argued that the new law appears less about regulating genuine cybercrime and more about political control and monitoring of online spaces. This is particularly after several provisions of the law give the government powers to block websites or apps, remove content, or shut down digital platforms, which has raised alarm that mm, the law could be used to stifle decent investigative journalism and legitimate online expression. Also, definitions used in the law, such as likely to cause fear or violence, grossly offensive, promote illegal activities, extremist religious or cultic practices, are criticized as being vague and open to broad interpretation, giving government wide discretion. Further, the very high jail times and fines have raised eyebrows on fairness and Kenya's commitment on digital rights. For example, the penalty for cyber harassment, which is defined as communication that an individual knows or ought to know could cause emotional, reputational, safety, or property harm, is a fine of up to 20 million Kenya shillings. Oh my God. Imprisonment of up to 10 years or both, bro. Like, this are intentionally, these laws were intentionally put to just like silence, critics, opposition. Other bills assented into law by Ruto on October 15 were Privatization Bill 2025, National Land Commission Amendment Bill 2023, Land Amendment Bill 2024, Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill 2025, Air Passenger Service Charge Amendment Bill 2025, Wildlife Conservation and Management Amendment Bill 2024 and the National Police Service Commission Amendment 20 Bill 2024. Miguna also raised questions about the number of Kenyans who lost their lives during the public viewing of Raila at Kasarani Stadium and whether those responsible will be held accountable. Raila passed away aged 80 after suffering a cardiac arrest in India, where he had gone to seek treatment. After his passing, Ruto declared 7 days of national mourning and accorded him a state funeral complete with military honors. However, Raila's body viewing, part of the provisions of a state funeral, were marred by chaos, with police lobbing tear gas and firing gunshots on Thursday. SSC of Monas flocked Kasarani Stadium to have a chance of viewing his body. Raila was laid to rest on Sunday, October 19, at the Kangoka Jaramogi homestead, a few meters from his late father Jaramogi Odinga's mausoleum. So I don't know, bro. Abdi, former the chairperson of National Council of Children's Services.
Making an appointment to go and see Honorable Raila to speak about the crippling of this East Africa community and the problem we are facing. So, as we say in Islam, kulla shay, kulla nafs daqatul maut.
Hey, Falhada. I know her, bro. I know.
macalimadii shaqadiisa ayaa soo baxday gabadhan saa u jeedin shalay muuqaal waxay soo gudbisay ayadoo dabkaas digsiga biyaha saaran yihiin ku dhex dhacaysa gadaal muuqaalkaas ku dhawaad 1 milyan iyo wax la jira oo fiirsatay jaa waxay sadhaaday meesha ku caanbixi lahayd oo follow iyo like fara badan ku heli lahayd waaye challenge caadi ka dhig saa u jeedin haddana kusi ay soo qaadatay dabkii biyaha saarnaa haddana ku dhex dhacday waa halis nafsadeeda ayaa halis gelisay inay isdisha ayay ugu talagashay marka muuqaal darad kale waxaa jiray wiil ilmo yar inoo god u qoday ku dhex shubay ninkina waxaa waa shaqaa laga qabsaday cadaaladda lasoo horstaajiyey boortareedka maclumaadka loo horgeeyey gabadhan hadda inay isdishay ugu talagashay waa ujeediin muuqaalkan laamaha amniga lagu shaargaraayo si boortareedka maclumaadka loo horgeeyo oo wixii ku kalifay inay sheegto micnaha muuqaalo noocan soo gudbiso waxaa jiraan ciyaal yar yar oo social media
Somalia waa ku arkaysaa these people are doing everything. Somali people, not even Somali people, bro, they are doing everything to get views. So that is what, you know, basically what the Somali government and the Somali people have worked for. Yeah, these are the type of fruits you reap. You can't say you are mourning a person and then you continue to do the opposite. Most of Raila's life, he was in the trenches fighting for the people together with his family. So to honor him, it is not just decorate posthumously with medals. La, 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 accused of instilling a climate of fear. Oh my God. Tanzania, they have their own way of doing this shit.